At the age of 84, Kirunda Kivejinja is still an active member of the Ugandan cabinet, serving as the second deputy prime minister and minister for East African Community Affairs. Despite his busy schedule in cabinet, Kirunda Kivejinja is involved in many projects, not only to support his retirement, but to also better the lives of his community in Dawantumbi village, Nawanyago in Kamuli district. He does poultry and beekeeping. The minister has introduced in-house beekeeping with a vision to make Nawantumbi a beekeeping village to improve household incomes. After his primary and secondary education in Uganda, Kivejinja got a scholarship to further his education in India. He started for an honors degree in biological sciences, majoring in zoology. It was at that time in the 1950s in New Delhi that the Indian first Prime Minister Nehru inspired the African students to fight for independence of their countries.
Some of us came to the conclusion that we are not going to take any other job other than to come and liberate our peoples. That's how I ended up taking an oath before this man that I will abandon my zoology and also to come and organize the people so that Ugandans can be free.
So Kivejinja, Wadada Msani, Vidandisari being led by John Kakonge started a struggle against the British rule. When the first direct elections to have representatives to the Legico were held, Dr. Milton Obote was one of the members elected from Langsab region.
He was the most outspoken against the British. And in Lango, you could not talk anything pro-British. So they elected him to be the spokesman of the elected members.
Kivejinja says he, Musani, Dan Nabudere and Kintu Msoke, among others, were the strong men behind the brave Obote.
I was the Secretary for Research and Information Bureau. I was the party ideologue, Obote's backroom advisor and speech writer. And you used to move two in the Lincoln house, in the Lincoln car, when he was going to home and Lango and what. It's only myself and Obote. Kakonge was the articulator of the economic planning.
Unfortunately, Obote later sacked them from the Uganda People's Congress. According to Kirunda, he had nobody to guide him or correct his mistakes, and so he started having conflicts with the Mengo establishment, which also organized for his downfall.
Because they were able to organize a resolution condemning him that he is a thief. He robbed the gold and the masanka from Congo. And they passed a resolution in parliament. The man was up country. He came back a prime minister, but when the parliament had more or less withdrawn the vote in him.
Fortunately, Obote managed to defeat the plans against him.
They didn't know that the boy had been organized. He had the army and the police on his side. And after all, that's power.
When Idi Amin took over power through a military coup in the early 70s, Kirunda and his Indian group started actively practicing journalism.
We founded the weekly topic because we said, instead of joining one faction to reinforce it, let's open up a media in which the people will begin now to discuss the national issues. And it was very influential. And when Obote again captured power, he wanted to ban it, but we worked so fast and we closed it to say bye-bye. We shall come back when the weather is okay. We were very smart, and by then I had already opted to go with Museveni directly into the bush.
And that is when Uganda Patriotic Movement was formed. They participated in the 1980 elections, though they were certain they could not beat Obote.
And he even announced that even if my wife alone votes for me, I'll come and rule. I said, don't you see? So for us, we know Obote thoroughly. He's serious, and he will do it. So we also said, Museveni will lead in us.
Even most of the UPM members who wanted seats in parliament did not make it.
Only one person, Kionga, is one who won. And it was by proxy, because the UPC killed the DP candidate in Kasese. So the people out of wrath, they voted Kionga.
When Museveni went to the bush right after the 1980 elections, the next people heard was the news that there was an attack on Kabamba barracks.
So we were all shocked. He did not tell anybody. Obote, not knowing or thinking that that was a party decision, he knew Bidandi was behind it. So they immediately went for Bidandi, arrested him, and put him in unknown places.
When Bidandi Sali was arrested, many of Museveni confidants fled into exile, and Kivejinja went into hiding.
And they had given orders to shoot me at sight and to recover the head.
Kirunda disguised himself as a fuel tank turned boy and escaped to Kenya. He stayed in Kenya for some time and thereafter relocated to Austria, where he did a lot of work for the rebel force. Kirunda also organized a conference in Austria where Museveni's group made final touches for their grand plan to capture power.
And we went through the nitty-gritty of the 10-point program.
After the takeover in 1986, work started immediately.
Our main task was mainly to rehabilitate the 2 million people who had been displaced by the war, and to return from exile of 500,000 people, Ugandans.
He is now the second Prime Minister and Minister for the East African Community Affairs. I wanted to know why the long stay in power.
Now, you are interviewing me. I'm 84 years young. Museveni is just at 75. Have you found me to be senile?
Kirunda says it has taken him 36 years to build his magnificent house, which will serve as a meeting place for his family when he retires. Agness Nandutu, NTV, Living History.